Today for math, we are doing Worktext page 45 and 46, and then because we don't have homework, we will also be doing reviews page 43, 44. We will do the Worktext page together, and then I will give you the reviews page, and I'm going to have you try to do it on your own, but I will be here if you need help. Okay, let's keep our pencils still. Please put them down. All right, so this is what we were doing yesterday. This first section is actually review from what we were doing yesterday. So what's the first thing we need to do?
Write it on the side.
Yes, we need to rewrite this problem. So go over to the side and rewrite 243 minus what?
17.
17. And you need to make sure you line up the ones and line up the tens. That 1 and the 17 should not be under your hundreds. And if you made it there, you need to move it. Okay? So we're going to start with, I forgot to grab my pointer. We're going to start with 3 minus 7.
You can't do that.
Yes, we cannot do that. So we're going to actually visualize that over here first. So we're going to come over here to the tens, and we're going to take our red colored pencil, and we're going to circle one of those tens, and we're going to turn it into ones, to draw arrows. So we're going to start with the 1, 2 to make 5 there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Make that one a little bit bigger, make that one a little bit bigger. Whoops, that looks like 2 there now. No, it looks like way too many. I don't know if I'm going to erase that or not though. You know what, let's just do that and do 3 more again. 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right, so now this is what we did. We went to the tens and we took 1 away and turned it into 1. So come over here and cross out the 4 in the tens, because we don't have 4 tens anymore. We only have 3 tens. And we turn that 1 10 into 10 ones. We already had 3 ones, and then we made 10 ones, and now that makes 13. So let's change this 3 into a 13, just putting a little 1 in front of it. And now we're going to subtract. What are we going to subtract?
7.
Yeah, so we're going to cross out 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And when we do that, we are left with
6.
So 13 minus 7 is
6.
All right, now we're going to go to the tens. After we turn one of the tens into ones, now we have 3 tens, and we are going to subtract 1. So we just need to cross out 1. And that leaves us with 2. And then you go to the hundreds, and you have 2 minus nothing. So what are we going to do with the hundreds?
You can't do that. You don't take away 2. Just don't
Keep
take
it
away
the same.
Keep it the same. Don't do anything.
So what are we going to do here?
Nothing.
Nothing. That's all I need you to tell me. Nothing. So 2 minus nothing is
2.
2. So we still have 2. So our answer is
226.
So go up and write it on that line up there. And then we'll move over to the next problem, which is 415 minus 109. First thing we need to do is rewrite it. So right here in front of this, we're going to write 415 minus 109. And we will start with 5 minus 9.
Can't do
Can't do that. So we're going to go that 1 in the middle, that 110. Whoops, I'm supposed to be doing that with my red. Pick up your red. Circle that 10 stick. And they already have 5 ones, so we're just going to go right beside it and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoops. That turned out messy. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so that 1 now how many tens do we have, Amin?
15.
No, you're not asking. Are you listening to my question? I asked about the tens. How many tens? I said ones by mistake, but I immediately corrected myself. I said, how many tens? We had 1 10. Now how many do we have?
0.
0. So cross out that 1. Whoops. I did it again. I have to actually rewrite my number there. Change it to black. So that 1 becomes a 0. And that 5, we had 5 ones. Now we have 10 more, so that makes 15. So stick a little tiny 1 in front of that 5 to make 15. 15 minus 9. What are we going to cross out? How many? 9. So go over to the ones and cross out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And when you look, you see how many left?
6.
6. And 15 minus 9 is
6.
Now you go to your tens, and you had how many tens?
0.
And how many were you subtracting?
0.
So we're okay, aren't we? 0 minus 0 is
0.
And then you go to your hundreds, and you have 4 hundreds, and we're going to subtract how many?
1.
So we're going to
Cross out 1.
And that leaves us with?
300.
That leaves us with how many?
300.
And then the answer is?
306.
All right, now the next section we're going to do the same thing, but we're not going to picture it, and then we're going to learn something new today. Okay, so that's review from yesterday. And when you get to your second paper, you're going to do a little bit of both. Okay, so we're starting with 62 minus 34. 2 minus 4?
Can't do that.
All right, so go to the tens, cross it out. It becomes a 5. And now that 2 is a
12.
And 12 minus 4 is
8.
And 5 minus 3 is
2.
Answer?
28.
28. I don't know why it does that sometimes. All right, next one is 97 minus 78. 7 minus 8.
Can't do that.
So you go with the 9 and the tens, cross it out. It becomes a
8.
And that 7 becomes
17.
17 minus 8. 17 minus 8.
9.
It's like a near double, right? Because 8 plus 8 is 16, right? So 17 minus 8 is 9. 8 minus 7 is 1. Final answer?
19.
All right, the next one is 142 minus 34. So start with the 2 minus 4.
Can't do that.
So go to the 4 that's in the tens column, cross it out, and it becomes a
3.
And that 2 becomes a
12.
12 minus 4 is
8.
3 minus 3 is
0.
And 1 minus nothing?
1.
Answer?
108.
Next is 750 minus 431. 0 minus 1?
Can't do that.
So go to the 5 in the tens column, cross it out, it becomes a
4.
Now that 0 becomes a
10.
10 minus 1 is
9.
4 minus 3 is
1.
And 7 minus 4 is
3.
Your answer?
319.
Last one of this row, 675 minus 158. So we're going to start with 5 minus 8.
Can't do that.
So cross out the 7 and the tens, and it becomes a
6.
And that 5 becomes
15.
15 minus 8.
7.
6 minus 5.
1.
And 6 minus 1.
5.
Yeah, those were related facts, weren't they? All right, the next thing we're going to do is look at this box right here. All right, so yesterday we took tens and changed them into ones. Today we did that again, but now we're going to learn about taking 100 and turning it into tens. 2, okay? So they have the problem 318 minus 165, all right? So 8 minus 5, they could do that. So they just went ahead and crossed out 5. It left them with 3. All right. Then when you got to your tens, it had a 1 in the tens because it was 318 minus 165. So you were saying 1 minus 6. Can you do that?
No.
No. So what they're having to do is they went to the hundreds and took 100 and turned it into 10 tens. So they kept going and made 4 more to make 5. Then they did 5 here and they did 1 here, and that is 10 tens total, right? Okay. So now they no longer have 3 tens, they only have 2, right? So now, instead of just having hundreds, I'm sorry, they don't have 3 hundreds, they only have 2. And over here, instead of having 110, they now have how many?
10.
No, 11, because they had 1 already, and the 10 they made with the 1 that they had already makes 11. And then they said 11 minus 6, so they crossed out 6 of them, and that left them with 5. That's why they put that. And then they came over here, and they had 2 left over, because this one got changed into 10 sticks. So they had 2 left over, and 2 minus 1 is 1. They crossed out 1, leaving them with 1, leaving them with an answer of 153. All right, so you guys ready?
Yeah.
This is when you're going to use your blue. So when we do this, we're going to be using our blue. So let's start with 326 minus 175. All right, so we'll start with 6 minus 5.
1.
Well, let's go and cross it out, because we need to come over here and cross out 5 of them. Let's go and subtract them, like that. And yes, that does leave us with 1. Remember, we cross out with our regular pencil. You guys need to remember that. Cross out with your regular pencil. That's why I do it with black. So I expect you to be crossing out with regular pencil. Now, we're going to go to the tens column, and we see 2 minus 7.
Can't do that.
We can't do that. So we're going to take one of these hundreds and turn it into 10 sticks. All right, so I'm going to change my color to blue. And I'm going to circle and draw a little arrow pointing this way, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, so I have 5 in that row, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so I have 5 in that row, 9, 10. So they had 2 tens, and now they have, how many tens?
12.
12. So we're going to switch back to our regular pencil and come over here, and we're going to cross out this 100. And now how many hundreds do we have left? 2. And change that to a 2. And now instead of just 2 tens, we just said we have 12 tens. So the 12 tens, we're going to subtract how many? 7. So come over here with your regular pencil and cross out 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that left us with
5.
5. Very good. So put a 5 underneath that. And then we have 200s, because that one got changed to tens. We have 200s, and we're going to subtract 1. So cross out one of those. Again, it doesn't matter which one you cross out. I crossed out the top one. You could have crossed out this one instead and left the top one. I would not mark it wrong if you did that. You just need to make sure you just cross out 1. All right, so go ahead and put 1 over here, and our answer is 151. That's it. So that's the only one we're going to picture on the front. So 9 minus 7.
You can do that.
Yes, you can. 9 is more than 7. Isn't 9 more than 7? So if I have 9, do I have enough to give you 7? Yes. You can do it, guys. If the number on top is bigger than the number on bottom, then you can do this. All right? So 9 minus 7 is 2. What? Joey.
You actually misunderstood me. You said you can do it.
Well, don't tell me you can do it, because I did misunderstand. Did you say you can do it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, don't say you can. Only say you can't do it. Okay? Because somebody else might have misunderstood you too. Because I misunderstood you. All right, so don't tell me you can do it. Just tell me what it is. If you can do it, then just tell me what it is. Okay? Alright, so 9 minus 7 is 2. Then we come to the tens column and we have 2 minus 6.
You can't.
You cannot do that. So we have to go to our hundreds. Cross out the 4, it becomes a 3. Whoa. I don't know why it does that. Didn't I poke my eraser? I did. So why isn't it erasing? There we go. Alright, so it becomes a 3. And then we give the 100 becomes 10 tens. So now instead of 2 tens, we have 12 tens. 12 minus 6 is 6. And 3 minus 3 is 0. Do you need to put that 0?
No,
Because it has no part in the answer. If there was thousands, then you were going to have a number in the thousands, and yes, you would need the 0. But since our final answer is just 62, it would be silly to have 062. 062? No, just 62. That's all you need. Alright, so go on to the next one. We have 4 minus 6.
You can't do
No,
that.
we can't do that. So we're going to go to the hundreds, and the 9 becomes, go to the 10, sorry, and then the 9 tens becomes
8.
and now that 4 ones becomes
14
ones. 14 minus 6. 8. 8 minus 8.
0.
And 2 minus 1.
1.
See, that time we did need that 0 to hold this place open, so we didn't end up with an answer of 18. We know it's 108. We just don't have any tens. All right, moving on to the next one. We have 38 minus 9. 8 minus 9?
Can't do
Can't do it. You go to the tens, cross out the 3. It becomes a 2. And there it goes again. I did not mean to put a 1 there, so do not put a 1 there. I was not trying to put a 1. I was trying to maybe a 2, and it does this weird thing every now and then. Instead of 8 ones, we have
18.
18 ones. 18 minus 9 is
9.
And 2 minus nothing is
2.
Answer of 29. Moving on. 563 minus 228. So we'll start with 3 minus 8.
Can't do that.
So go to the 6. The 6 becomes a 5. You have 5 tens, and now you have how many ones?
18.
No. 13.
I was looking at the wrong one.
Well, stop looking at the wrong one, because it's confusing when you're blurting out the wrong answer, buddy. 13 minus 8 is?
5.
And 5 minus 2 is?
3.
And 5 minus 2 is?
3.
Answer?
335.
Last one, 947 minus 196. So start with 7 minus 6.
1.
Yes, just 1. 4 minus 9?
Can't
Do it. So go to the hundreds. The 900s becomes?
8.
And that 100 becomes 10. So now you have?
14.
14 tens instead of just 4. 14 minus 9?
5.
5. And 8 minus 1?
7.
7. Answer? 751. Alright, now, we need to turn that paper over. And on the back, we're going to keep working on it together, even though you're not having to picture any of them still. Okay, we're just going to do it together. Alright, so we got 2 minus 5.
Can't do
Can't do
that.
So go to do the tens, cross out the 9, it becomes a
8.
8. Alright, the 2 ones becomes 12 ones, and 12 minus 5 is?
7.
7. I want more people than Brantley answering. 8 minus 8 is?
0.
There we go. And 5 minus 1 is?
4.
Alright, next one is 725 minus 463. 5 minus 3?
2.
Easily done. 2 minus 6?
Can't
So
do it.
go to the hundreds, so 700 becomes?
6.
600. And the 2 tens becomes?
12.
12 tens. 12 minus 6?
6.
6 minus 4?
2.
2. Answer?
262.
Alright, we got 834 minus 271. Start with 4 minus 1.
3.
And then 3 minus 7.
Can't do it.
Can't do that. So go to 800 and it becomes?
7.
700s. One less 100. That 100 turns into 10. So now we have?
13.
13 tens. 13 minus 7 is?
6.
6, guys. 4 plus 7 would not be 13. 4 plus 7 would be 11. So 13 minus 7 cannot be 4, can it? And 7 minus 2 is 5. All right, moving to the next row. Oh, by the way, the answer is 563. And I'm going to do what I would expect you guys to do. Do you guys see how my 5 almost closed up, so it almost looks like a 6?
Yeah.
So if you do that, I expect you to erase it and fix it so I can tell what you wrote. All right? I can write much neater when I'm using a regular pencil than I can when I'm doing this. This is hard to write on. Or at least I find it hard to write on. 63 minus 59. 3 minus 9?
Can't
do
do that.
it. Go to the tens. Instead of 6 tens, we have 5. And instead of 3 ones, we have
13.
13 minus 9 is 4. And 5 minus 5 is
0.
So we need to put it?
No.
97 minus 78. 7 minus 8?
Can't do that.
9 tens becomes
8
tens, and 7 ones becomes
17.
17 minus 8.
9.
Very good. We already had that on the front, didn't we? You guys said it faster this time. And 8 minus 7 is
1.
Answer.
19.
All right, 489 minus 367. 9 minus 7.
3.
Ooh, is it? Is 3 plus 7 9?
No.
Is 3 plus 7 9? So can 9 minus 7 be 3?
No.
What is 9 minus 7?
2.
Is 2 plus 7 9? Is 2 plus 7
Yes.
9?
Yes.
So that's how you know that's the right answer. You guys, it said 3. There was not just one of you that said it. There were several of you that said that. 8 minus 6?
2.
2. Ooh, we didn't even have to rename, did we? And 4 minus 3? 1. Answer?
122.
That's what you need to watch out for, because so many people get so used to renaming that they just start renaming when they don't need to.
No.
You only rename if you need to. Okay? So just pay attention. All right. 247 minus 160. Start with 7 minus 0.
7.
Yes, 7. And then 4 minus
Can't
6.
do that.
Can't do that, so go to the hundreds. 2 hundreds becomes
100.
100, and you give that 100 to the tens, so instead of 4 tens, you have
14.
14 tens. And 14 minus 6 is
8.
And 1 minus 1 is
0.
Do we put it?
No.
So our final answer is just the 87. All right, last one in this row is 630 minus 219. We're going to start with 0 minus 9.
Can't do that.
Can't do it. So go to the 3 tens. 3 tens becomes
2.
and the 0 ones becomes
10.
10 minus 9?
1.
2 minus 1?
1.
6 minus 2?
4.
Answer?
411.
All right, that brings us to our story problems. The first story problem says Haley and Horatio found 248 shellfish. There were 57 shellfish that were too small to keep. So that means they had to throw them back. So how many shellfish did Haley and Horatio keep? So what are we going to do?
Put it in the box.
Okay, but I need to know what we're going to do as far as what.
Subtract.
Yeah, we need to subtract, because ones they could not keep because they were too small, they're throwing them back in the water. That's what you do with them. All right? So we're going to start with a big number, which is?
248.
Yes, 248. And we're going to subtract the ones that were too small. So we're going to subtract
57.
Again, remember to line it up neatly. All right, so the 8 minus 7 is? 8 minus 7? 6. Does 6 plus 7 equal 8?
Oh.
8 minus 7 is
1.
1. Does 1 plus 7 equal 8?
Yes.
All right, then we come to the middle and we have 4 minus 5.
Can't do that.
No. So we go to the hundreds, cross out the 200s, it becomes
100.
100, and now that 4 tens is
14.
14 tens. 14 minus 5 is 9. Very good. Who is that? Chase. Good job, Chase. 14 minus 5 is 9, and 1 minus nothing is 1. So our answer is
191.
So we're going to come and write it going across. So we write the big number first. 248 minus 57 equals 191. looking at our question, it says how many shellfish? So Haley and Horatio kept 191 shellfish. Alright, second story column says, families in Cape Cod often go shellfishing. Mr. Lee found 110 shellfish. Mrs. Lee found 67. The children, Zachary and Star, found 83. How many shellfish did the family find? So this time, what is our process?
Adding.
Adding. We're going to add everybody's shellfish up. So we're going to start at the top with Mr. Lee, who was?
110.
Very good, 110. And then Mrs. Lee was?
67.
67. As you write that 67, make sure you're lining up those 10s and lining up those 1s. And then the children found?
83.
83. So again, line up your 10s and line up your 1s. Nothing should be under the hundreds because Mr. Lee was the only one who had something in the hundreds. All right, so we're going to add it up. We got 0 plus 7 plus 3.
10.
10. So we're going to put a 0 and rename the 1 to the top of the 10s. Then we have 1 plus 1 plus 6 plus 8.
16.
Very good, because it ends up being 8 plus 8, doesn't it? So we're going to put a, no.
It's 6 at the bottom.
If the answer is 16, why would we put a 5 at the bottom?
You put a 6 at the bottom and a 1 at the
Rename, put a 6 at the bottom, rename the 1 to the
top
top
of
of
the
the hundreds.
hundreds.
1 plus 1 is
2.
2. I forgot to put my plus sign in. 260 is our answer, and then we need to rewrite it going across. So we're going to start with Mr. Lee with 110 plus 67 for Mrs. Lee plus 83 for the children equals
260.
260. And again, the label was how many
Shellfish.
So that family found
260 shellfish.
All right, so at the bottom, you have a small section, and I do not want you jumping up and running to put your paper in the stacks after you finish this, but this one is expanded form, so you need to change it to
Standard.
And this one is expanded form, so change it to standard. So above this one, write it in standard. Above this one, write it in standard before you do greater than, less than, or equal to. Do you understand that?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, the last time you wrote it in expanded form again on top of it. You know what I mean by standard form, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so go ahead and do that, and I'm going to talk before I stop the video about your second paper. All right, so the second paper you're doing is looking like this. You will need to use your blue, your red if you're changing 10s to 1s. You will need to use your blue if you're changing hundreds to 10s, okay? And you would do a mixture because there's the same ones we did where you were changing 10s to 1s, and then down here where you're changing hundreds to 10s, okay? If you need help, raise your hand, I'll come around and help you. And the back is just review about commutative property of addition, so that is from the first unit we ever did.